Come, gather round, everyone. They're about to talk Disney. I am still so confused as to whether I'm going to eat at Connections or Creations. So the only way I can keep them straight is I have to think, okay, well, my mouth connects to my stomach, so I guess that's Connections.
So I call Catherine to see how dinner at the restaurant is going, and she says, I can't talk to you right now. I'm talking to Mickey. So I'm like, okay, here's the big cheese. I get it. And then she says, hold on, he wants to talk to you. So she FaceTimes me, and I'm FaceTiming with Mickey as I'm getting ready for the podcast.
I don't understand why people spend hard-earned money on a Mickey ice cream sandwich in the parks. I mean, we literally all have ice cream sandwiches in our freezers at home. We don't have Mickey bars. From the mind and creator of the Disney YouTube channel Living in Diz comes a whole new Disney podcast. Okay, can we talk some serious Disney here now? Nope. Get ready for all the Disney knowledge that you can handle. It's Corey. It's Lawrence. It's the DIZPod.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Hello. Hello and welcome, everyone. I can not see me. I don't know if Lawrence can. Could you hear me that whole time?
Yes.
Oh, okay then. Well, hello once more time. Hello one more time. Welcome, everyone, to the DIZPod. We are live because we do it for you, and it looks like Pink Pam's channel came in, and they gave us a little raid. They raided us back. What's up, everyone, over on the Pink Pam side, and hello to all of our wonderful community as they come together, and it's harmony. It's just harmony. It's a perfect harmony. No, that's, again, I'm singing the words wrong, but it's a heartbeat symphony, Lawrence.
Yes, there it is. There it is.
Yes. So welcome, everyone. We do it live because we do it for you. This is the DIZPod. I am Corey, and that is Lawrence. Do you have a new shirt on today?
I do. This is a new shirt. I have worn it once in the parks, not on the show. Can you see what
it's Figment.
It's Figment.
Yes, I do not have a Figment shirt. I don't have a real Epcot shirt. Let me say it again.
Oh.
I don't have a real Epcot shirt. Wait, let me say it again. I do not have a real Epcot shirt.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if somebody in the living room heard you.
That's what I was trying for. That we need to notify the wardrobe department and tell them I do not have an Epcot shirt. But
so
you do.
I was debating on wearing this one or a different one because I have one that I bought in the parks. But I decided to go with this one because I hadn't worn this one on the show. I have another Epcot shirt that I have worn on the show before. So I figured, I'll go with this one.
I wonder if there's a material that is total Spaceship Earth.
There is.
Ooh.
There is.
Okay. S. Becker says Heartbeat Symphony makes me cry. I was cranking those tunes today. I was beating Luminous into the ground in the car today. I was in a luminous mood.
That one line in the narration, I'll probably forget it as I'm trying to think of it, but it's like, what a miracle that we are on this planet at the same time. As long as this planet's been around, we are here at the same time together. And every time I hear that, I think of this community. I think of this channel. I think of everybody in chat. I think of how I found Living in Diz and Corey and Neil and just got hooked on to what they were trying to do. And people like Pink Pam and all the other content creators out there that are trying to bring Disney to you. And here I am, almost a year. We are at 51 weeks to the day when the podcast premiered. Um, and it just still seems crazy to me that I'm in this life, but absolutely love it.
I feel the
Absolutely.
same. Yeah, I totally feel the same way. That's really well said, my friend, and really deep. But absolutely, and I always turn around. I talk about it in the parks all the time. I turn around and I look at Tammy and I mouth those words. I don't know if she's really getting the gravity of the statement,
Right.
or she's just like, she kind of just she doesn't. I don't think she understands what I'm doing, or she does, and she's like, I know how much you love me, whatever. But it's deep. That's a deep statement too. It is so good.
What I like about it is it can be used for both scenarios, right? You and Tammy,
Yeah.
you turning around to Tammy and saying, "We found each other. I could have been born 70 years ago. You could be born 80 years from now. We found each other today. This is where we are." And the same thing for friends and family and everything. We were talking, Catherine and I were talking to my aunt over the weekend, and we were talking about the paths that our lives take. And had there been one veer this way, would Catherine and I be here together? Would Finley have been born? So everything worked out the way it was supposed to be, even though it probably didn't feel that way in a lot of those twists and turns, but there was a purpose.
Absolutely. I'm a true believer. Let us know in chat if you believe this. I believe everything happens for a reason. Nothing is an accident on this earth. And hey, we didn't think we were going down this road, everybody, but we never know what road we're going down. When that mic goes hot, I just start talking, and here we go. That's our opening segment. I wonder if everybody likes our opening segment, because I wonder that, people are tuning in for Disney talk, and sometimes we go on for about 8 to 10 minutes about something else. But it's an attempt to be a little more personal too and relatable. That there's a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is. One of my little spotlights blew out. Anyway, so where were we? Reel me back in. Yeah. So anyway, what's that?
Have you worn that shirt before?
Maybe I've never worn it on stream. I've worn it before.
Chat, do you remember that shirt? I don't remember it.
I mean, there were no tags on it when I went to go put it on, so that tells you something. Sometimes I reach for Disney T-shirts and there's still a tag on it. But I think all my shirts are tagless at this point.
Now, sure. I'm usually not the one with a mug, but today I have a mug.
Oh.
It is an Epcot mug.
Very appropriate. Matter of fact, I messaged you during the opening. At some point, I got to slide out and grab myself my water. I didn't even bring the water. Okay. So at some point, I'll start not sounding good. But so chat is saying, they think so too. No coincidences. Things happen for a reason. If you want the long-term version of how Tammy and I ended up together, go back and listen to our February. It was 14th, right? Yeah. It was like right on Valentine's Day. Yeah. You can hear the extended version of how we came together. And I mean, fate, it had to happen. I mean, it was so many directions it did go, but it's still reeled us in. Yep. So that made me a huge believer of all of that. So did we have much news this week? I will say this, kind of breaking news today, right? All of you, the Disney YouTube community, I'm sure, was all watching Resort TV 1 today, or wanted to know if they pulled off streaming Tiana. And I would say, considering how it did not work out for anyone else leading up to today, it worked out very well.
Good.
And so we're happy for Josh for that and his viewers, and we'll be doing it tomorrow, and we will give it our best effort going forward. Josh and I already exchanged some tech talk
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to put our best foot forward and see if we can turn out a good stream of the ride too. So that's good because I didn't have super high expectations going in, and was hopeful he could pull it off, and he was able to pull it off. So still
Now,
haven't. What? Go ahead.
I will say today was DVC previews, so probably less people there than tomorrow. So maybe
Okay.
maybe a little bit more of an issue, but if you and him have talked, I'm not as concerned.
Yeah, and we'll set our expectations even,
Mm-hmm.
and if it works, awesome. Worst case, I get to see the ride, and you all have mostly seen the ride already.
Yeah,
So either way, but I'd love to experience it with all of you for the first time. So we're gonna get up, in the morning and try to get that reservation for 7, and we're gonna see if we can get Neil on the same one as us
nice.
because that's extra added fun. Everybody getting Neil on Splash Mountain, trust me. Oh boy, I said Splash Mountain, but that's the first time ever. But I can justify that. If you all want to see how Neil is going on that exact ride, look at our Splash Mountain live stream from the last week it closed.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of our funniest live streams ever. Ever. So if you want a little retro fun, go back and watch The Last Splash by Living in Diz.
Yeah,
And
I had an absolute ball on that last ride with Neil. That was so much fun.
it certainly was. And the poor guy, like he is legitimately fearful of it. But we could tell that wasn't Neil that night, but he was a good sport and he still did it, and it made for a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
can always go back and watch that. News wise, this week kind of slow. Besides what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, probably kind of slow. But I kind of expect that with Tiana opening, with Test Track closing, and then of course heading into July, leading up to the first week of August with D23. I think this is going to be kind of a lull in the announcements and news until we get to D23. If you haven't already released the news, you're probably holding everything else until D23.
Yeah, for sure. I could agree with that. So what kind of snuck out, and I wanted to share it quickly, and it was mentioned before. Like it was mentioned last week or the week before, and Pam is hot off of Animal Kingdom, checking some of this stuff out coincidentally. But yeah, The Lion King is celebrating 30 years. And what better park to do it in than Animal Kingdom?
Yeah.
We know one thing we've seen in person because Tammy has renewed her Pandora obsession. And so we have had an up close and personal look at the Disney's Animal Kingdom. I'm sorry, the Lion King Pandora set, which they did a beautiful job with that. And so now they finally put out an article on Disney Parks blog, who actually have a brand new logo now, which is pretty cool. So they're celebrating 30 years of The Lion King. And I actually have, you want to play with some slides? I have some slides there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And I'll just make my way through it.
All right.
So it goes on to say Lion King characters at Animal Kingdom. I think they might be available for a meet and greet over at Conservation Station. You've got Timon and Rafiki. So there's that. And they will be available all summer to visit with. So that is something that's pretty cool, actually. I don't know, we kind of have a rule. We'd like to meet characters more often, but especially when you're live, I think anything above 20 minutes is something we usually pass on. And I can imagine that they're probably going to have a pretty long wait. It's a tough they're tough characters to meet, right?
Yes. Yeah. I was trying to think of when we had heard that, because I know that we have heard that they would be meeting. And I feel like we announced it on the show, but I don't remember how long ago that was. So glad to see that is coming for sure.
Just mousing around. Glad that you found the horizontal version. I think you came over from the vertical.
Yeah, I put the link for those watching on the vertical. I put the link in there. If you want to watch the widescreen version, head on over to that link. All of those of you watching on the vertical and watching on Instagram, be sure to come on over and subscribe, because we're live every single Wednesday. I say that, but we are not live next Wednesday.
It always happens that way, right? Lots of
We're
things
not live
going on. I guess I can officially announce our cruise. We will be gone. We are not live streaming this Monday or any day during the week next week. We'll live stream this Saturday, and you'll see us again the following Saturday. We're taking an official LID vacation with no streaming. And to be honest, it's probably more because you just can't stream well from the ship. So we'll be gone Monday through Friday on the Royal Caribbean ship, but you can bet your bottom dollar that we are going to have plenty of vlogs for you all. So hopefully I can come up with a bunch of vlogs that I'm hoping to do, and we'll have all those to share with you, so you guys won't miss out too much of the trip for sure. So we'll be finishing this Saturday, and we'll be back strong the following Saturday, and that's the way that's gonna go. So no DIZPod either.
So I got about 3 hours of sleep last night. I was mulling over, noodling, as we say at work, noodling some things. I mentioned it to you yesterday, so you know what.
Oh, hold on, before I forget, and we can move on. But there's 2 vlogs coming out next week, so I have 2 vlogs ready for you all. We've got a World Showcase walkthrough filmed in 4K. And yeah, Lawrence is like, what? Lawrence is hearing this for the first time. I love surprising him.
I love it.
And we have a vlog restaurant review of Kona Cafe breakfast, and it was in the archives. So it's a year old, almost exactly a year old.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a breakfast review and a World Showcase walkthrough. So you all have that to look forward to next week.
Very nice. So we know that we have 2 things dropping next week on the channel, and they will drop as premieres so that we can all chat together during that. So
we should probably do some shorts too. Maybe we'll work some shorts in there.
Yeah.
All right. The stage is yours.
As I was just mindlessly thinking about the things I have to do for work, I found out that how to do a live stream replay. So I was thinking, maybe since we're not live next week, we find some live streams from back in the day that are kind of fun or funny. Maybe even the one with Neil and Splash Mountain. And that goes on the channel as a premiere so that we can all chat while we're watching it.
That is great that you brought that up. Would you all, let me know in chat, would you all like to see some stream replays that maybe you hadn't seen in a few years, or you just never saw? Would you guys like that to happen? And if they would, it is something I had been doing research trying to figure out how to do it. I'm glad you figured it out. We'll have to talk later.
Yeah.
I would love to fill the channel up with that, maybe even once a week on a normal schedule.
Right.
You know, if we're live in the park Monday, got the DIZPod on Wednesday, every other Thursday we're live. You know, maybe just pick a day, like every Thursday or every Tuesday or something, we have a retro stream.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's liking that.
Yeah, I looked into it while I was not sleeping and said, I think that would be good, especially for next week when we're not live any in the parks. So instead of having to wait from Saturday to Saturday, you can all chat together. Because again, I'll say, just like I talked about a few minutes ago, it's the community feel. You know, I know that we all tune in for Corey and Tammy and Jacob and Jillian and Neil and Allison. I did not take a nap today, and today is my normal nap day. I didn't take a nap, so you can Yeah. So I might be in rare form today. But I just thought it's the community, so why not do that? So yeah, if you guys are down for that, Corey and I will work on getting that up.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, and then from there on, let's roll it out. Let's have at least one day of we'll test it maybe one day a week
Yeah,
of a replay, and then if it goes well, maybe we'll add another one.
I
You
like it.
know, you add it during the day, day release, a night release, and a day release
Yeah, yeah,
gives another crowd a chance to see who we are.
that's right.
So that's
Yeah,
pretty
we'll
cool.
definitely play with it.
Awesome. Yes, that's awesome. Alicia was talking in chat, and I was talking back to her. We were talking about the Disney cruise. The only reason why we didn't try to do a Disney cruise yet is because you can't beat around the bush. They are a lot more expensive
Mm,
than Royal Caribbean. So, and we tried to put some logic behind it too. Like, there's so much more to it. But as far as like characters, like if that's part of what we're sacrificing, we live with the characters, so that's okay. But there's more to it than characters on a Disney cruise. We got to do it. We will do it. It's just a matter of when. It's really really pricey.
So, I was gonna wait till the end to tease this. Should I wait till the end to tease that, or now?
First, I'm just gonna mention that I'm trying to find it on the screen, but I can see here. Oh, right here. Where is it? Where is it? Theme parks and more. Says love your streams. We appreciate that so much. That stuff goes so far with
Yeah.
I'm sure Lawrence, and it goes so far with me. It's just it's reassurance. It's a pat on the back for hey, keep doing what you're doing because when you work as hard as Lawrence does in his regular life, and I do, and then it comes to have to put all your energy into this as much as we love it. Sometimes I'm like this. Like I
Mhm.
just don't want to. I don't think I can go to the park tonight. Like I'm tired. I want to be home. And then it takes one of you that night to show that appreciation,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yep, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So it really goes a long way. So thank you.
I know exactly what you mean. That day, I was a Sunday. I was supposed to be heading home. We weren't even thinking about streaming. We ended up streaming, and the mom wanted to see her kids in the parade, and I was like, "Can't go home. I can't end the stream now. I got to do this for her." We were the only ones in the park that day, so yeah, it's very fulfilling and rewarding for us to be able to do this. That much I can tell you. So thank
Yeah,
you.
as like I always said, I'll say this last thing about it is like starting from the first month of doing this. I dedicated myself to those 35 people that had subscribed,
Mhm.
throwing out a small number there, that had subscribed, and I had to stay dedicated to them because I promised them 3 videos a week.
Okay.
Then 35 came 100, then 1,000, then 3,000, and I'm still keeping that promise. I have to keep that promise.
Yeah.
So it really is the community that motivates me because I don't want to let them down.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Steve Bullock says, do a group rate with Disney and we can all come. That sounds good. I am not going to rule out an LID cruise in the future for sure. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
You know, if we had somebody that knew about Disney cruising, they'd be a great guest to have on the show to talk about all that stuff, wouldn't they?
I wonder who that would be.
Well, July 31st, I believe it is, we will have Dr. Disney, who runs
Woo.
their own website. They're big on Instagram and they're huge on Facebook. And they run a travel company as well. And they are big into Disney cruising. So they will be joining us on the show. They are excited about our style of podcast. So they are down for anything, playing games, talking Disney World, talking Disney cruising. So yeah, they will be on the show on July 31st. So be looking forward to that for sure. We will have lots of questions about Disney cruising for them, especially because Corey will have just done his first cruise ever, And Dr. Disney is coming back from a cruise the week prior. So they are fresh off of cruising.
Awesome. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
For sure. Renee says, Michelle, oh, she's talking to Michelle, but she says Disney Cruise is terribly expensive. Royal Caribbean is a very nice line. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Royal Caribbean really is some of the creme de la creme of cruising, but Disney, if they're not there yet, I can tell from a inside source, I can actually say that, an inside source, that Disney is going hard in the next year or two or whatever it is to become the premier cruise line in the world. That is a major focus for Disney coming up. And they'll do it because it's Disney.
Yep. Yeah. They know how to immerse you in the theming. So for sure, they'll get it right.
Was that the thing that you wanted to tease, or was there something else?
So we have been very lucky to line up a lot of good guests recently. We've talked about it on our 50th episode, where we've had authors, we've had former cast members, we've had authors that are former cast members, and we've had Elizabeth from NC Disneyana. We had folks from the VIP tours. I already told you about Dr. Disney coming on in July. In 2 weeks prior to that, we're going to have another guest that's going to come on and talk about the Run Disney series that he's doing. And he's raising money for the American Cancer Society. His name is Zach Stevens. Anybody in chat know who Zach Stevens is? I'll give you a couple minutes while you try and figure out who he is.
While they do that, I can go on and I can talk about the other Lion King celebration items. And of course, with celebrations comes treats, right? So there is a new Lion King anniversary set of treats where they're going to have the Simba Cookie Paw or Simba Paw Cookie. And it is the perfect summer treat and can be found at outdoor food carts throughout the park during the celebration. There's also a You Follow Old Rafiki cheesecake. And this dessert is a combination of passion fruit mango cheesecake with a coconut lime crust, vanilla bean chantilly, and a chocolate medallion on top. You can be sure that if I can track that down, I will be trying that. There's also not pictured, I don't know. Yeah, this is pictured in a different slide, but that's okay. The Rafiki's squash banana shake with squash bananas, baobab fruit, vanilla cinnamon, and cardamom is another must try this summer. Baobab fruit. So we pass the baobab tree all the time on the safari, and they say, oh, it blooms once or twice a year. And we're like, okay, we go on the safari year round. I never see a thing blooming from that thing. It looks like an upside down potato, but be interesting to try that. And you can also find at Tiffin's restaurant, along with the Remember Who You Are. We can say, remember who you are. The Lion King 30th anniversary dessert, which is also, I think it was depicted earlier too. It has caramelized bananas with a Kenyan coffee mousse, chai chantilly, banana caramel sauce, chocolate coffee crumble, chocolate decoration, and a sugar sun. And there's a drink there too, the Simba, which you can get over at 8 Spoon Cafe. It's a mango flavored slushy combined with grenadine and topped with 2 gummy candles. Oh, candies. I was like, why? I don't see candles. And Timon's Luau, which is a unique dessert that pays homage to Timon's iconic hula from the film. And that's layered with a bunch of different things there. So that looks pretty good. The layers there, I think we've got that in a... Where'd all the slides go for that? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, it's in there. It's way to the top right. That is the Timon's Luau. And It has vanilla chiffon, passion fruit curd, guava jam, vanilla chantilly cream, and an edible tropical flower for the lei and the mint hula skirt. To the top left, you have the Zazu ice cream sandwich. I wonder if that has any flavor to it. It's 2 blue cake-coated sugar cookies with a chocolate medallion on top. I really wouldn't try that. It's almost too vanilla-y. If
Got
it. Yeah. I'm not a sugar cookie fan. I don't know if you are.
No, I am not.
If I tried it, I would probably try it for the stream, and that's it. And of course, you can go ahead and you can get the popcorn bucket, the Pumbaa, and there's also a Zazu Dole Whip lime and coconut float. And of course, with any celebration comes Lion King merch, and that's kind of the gist of that. So, the other thing too, also is in the bottom left-hand corner, your Magic Band Plus. There's a Magic Band Plus themed with Lion King, and it will be interactive. But I can imagine, I would think all Magic Bands would react the same, but I'm not sure. But it will react to the Lion King show.
Well, that's good to know. That'll be nice to see.
Yeah. So,
like that.
So that's that about that.
Very cool.
That's it for
so I'm going to show the answer to our guest in July while you check on your audio. So where did it go? Yes. So Zach Stevens is going to be joining us in July. He is a huge Disney fan. He's actually heading to Disneyland to do the Run Disney series out there to raise money for the American Cancer Society. And so Zach will be joining us in July to talk all about that. And that is who Zach Stevens is. He is one of the lead vocalists of Trans-Siberian Orchestra, folks. His family I have talked to for a while. We've been going to Trans-Siberian Orchestra concerts straight since probably 2017. And they always have a meet and greet, or they did pre-COVID have a meet and greet. So I was able to meet him and the whole band. And then I won't tell the story now, but I happened to have met his wife, whose name is also Catherine. And we struck up a friendly conversation, and they're huge Disney fans. And so he wanted to raise money for the American Cancer Society. And I said, hey, why don't you come on the show and talk about that and the Run Disney series? So he will be here talking about that in July. And then he will also come back and join us to talk about Trans-Siberian Orchestra closer to Christmas. No audio. You muted. Or I think you are.
All right, can you hear me now?
There you go. Gotcha.
All right. Had to fix the audio. That wire is weird.
Mhm.
We're good to go, and then at some point in the podcast, it likes to go wonky for a second. So that's awesome. Congratulations for getting that for us, and we'll keep the guests coming.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of guests, Cliff Flicks is in the house. Hello, Cliff. And yes, he did start in Sabotage. He's one of the original members of Sabotage, so he'll have a lot to talk about, and I'm very excited to have him on at least twice this year. So very, very cool.
That's awesome. I must have reeled Cliff in today because I decided to play Luminous from Cliff today. So there. Welcome, Cliff. I hope you're doing well, my friend.
I watched
Sunday. You watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it holds up. You know, it holds up. It's decent.
Yeah, he does okay. He does okay.
He does all right.
Cliff, when are you going to Space Mountain? Space Mountain. When are you going to Space Mountain? When are you going to Splash Mountain? I don't remember when that trip was.
Oh, yeah, because he is doing Splash Mountain in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so he'll deliver a wonderful video of that as well. Mm-hmm. And I also wonder how his project is going. So his whole Epcot project.
Yes. Cliff. Tokyo's in October.
And if he still needs voiceover for that.
Oh. He was probably talking about himself, not me. I don't do voiceover work.
Although in the park the other night, Tammy was trying to do a little voiceover for Park World Radio. She's like, "This is Park World Radio."
So Cliff, if Tokyo's in October, just reach out to us. Let us know when you want to come and talk about it. Before, after, we're always game to hear from a great guy like you.
Absolutely. All right, tonight we're here to talk about Epcot Unveiled, a first look at Communicore Hall's grand debut.
Yeah, so Corey was lucky enough to have had it scheduled to go to Epcot that night for the opening of Communicore Hall. Of course, those of us that are, Epcot fanatics know Communicore was back in the 80s, the 90s. We loved it. Unfortunately, Corey was a late bloomer, so he didn't get to see that. But I think Corey would have absolutely loved seeing Communicore and innovations and inventions and everything that you got to play with and tinker around with. That was the cool place. I liked Magic Kingdom, but Epcot was for a kind of nerdy kid back then into science and tech. Oh, that was amazing for me. So it's kind of cool to see that that name will live on in the hall.
I'll ask you a question. I think that Tammy and I did catch the tail end of Innovations. Here are my thoughts about this, and chat can participate too. This is what I remember seeing on our first trip to Epcot years ago. I remember doors being tested and open and closed a million times.
Mm-hmm.
We remember going through this practice or this drill where we were in a house that was on fire, and I think we had teams, and we had to maybe figure out how to get out safely. Does this sound like something to anybody? Because it was something. We did something like that, and then I remember they had a big flat screen TV in that house, and we were like, wow, that's a big TV. We've never seen one like that before. And now we all have them. Like, does that ring a bell to anybody? I think that was part of Innovations, but I could be wrong.
You might be right. I unfortunately do not know, because while I went early, I also skipped the kind of middle. So I went in 2001 and then didn't return to Disney parks until 2020. So I missed all of the first 2 decades of the millennium, pretty much. So but you could be right, because that's kind of the idea behind Innovations.
Yeah.
And I put in chat a poll. When did you first visit Epcot? Right now there are 77 votes, and overwhelmingly it's the before 2082 to 2000. So and I kind of broke it up that way, because if you look at Epcot, I think there are clear breaks in the tech that we got to see. And you had the 80s and 90s and that kind of edutainment, and then it kind of started to change after that point. I remember going in 2001, Horizons was already closed. The walls were up for Mission Space. Test Track was already in place. World of Motion was gone. So, you already saw that stuff changing. And then you had the early 2000s, and then kind of this I'll feel like it to me, and Cliff will certainly be able to say whether I'm on the right track or not, but I kind of feel like there wasn't a clear path for Epcot in the last years, and they talked about redoing Spaceship Earth, and it would be closed for 2 years, and redoing it, and then that kind of went away. So I feel like the later years, it hasn't really had a clear direction. And I feel like right now you have a lot of that coming back. A lot of what it used to be, that edutainment is coming back. Festival space is coming back. So I kind of feel like it's the resurgence or rebirth of Epcot. Do
I
you
think I
feel that
can
way,
get
or
on. Yeah, I think I can get on board with that to a degree. I think we need to see more, but I think we're seeing a little bit of a taste of that. I think that it proves that, there's just I'm not trying to go too far into this because I have such a beef with haters online behind the keyboard, and everybody's tough back there. And I'm thinking about, like, the Acolyte came out, right?
Mhm.
Last week. A million people had something negative to say about it before it even came out. People just want to, like, hate on Star Wars.
Mhm.
And I just say, listen, man, and a lot of these people probably weren't born. They probably weren't of the original trilogy. These are younger people and all that. And it's like they just want to automatically hate on anything that comes out,
Mhm.
but you're paying attention. You're still watching it. Um, so, don't come with all that negativity. I just say for the Star Wars thing is just that I love Star Wars. I'm thankful for Star Wars. If you
Yeah.
like pizza, you want to have the greatest pizza you can get your hands on, but you're not always going to have the greatest pizza. You might
Right.
have, 50% approval rate for this pizza over here, but it's pizza and you're going to eat it and you're going to still enjoy it. I'm getting something there. So anyway, rolling it back to Epcot, um, I feel like people want to hate on Communicore too, and it's like, give it a chance.
Right.
They're slowly giving you that taste, like you said,
Mhm.
um, of classic Epcot. And I guess my whole point was, like, Disney listens. They listen. You can hate on things they put out, things they do, but if people say enough, Disney does listen. Like they don't put those surveys out for nothing.
Right.
Like, they listen. They want to know. If you get a higher cast member in the park, they want to know. Hey, come over here. Let me know what you really think.
Mhm.
You know, I've had that done. First day after being at Galaxy's Edge. Hey, I want to know everything you liked and everything you didn't like. How can we do it better? And I was like, wow, my opinion matters.
Right.
Um, so some people need to slow down on the Communicore thing.
Yeah.
What I think is this: when you go, so I do think Epcot's doing that. I want to see more though, like the Golden Dome. Let's take a look at that and give us an Epcot feel attraction right there.
Mhm.
Then we're there, right? Then we are there. Now we are old Epcot. We need more of it, and I think it's heading in that direction. Hopefully, it stays that way. Um, Somebody said something online that I read, and I can't remember where it came from. It was just a comment off of something else. It might have been off the Star Wars stuff. But, um, you know, the comment was, why don't we start coming out with rides that don't need IPs? Right? And that's part of the Epcot way as
Yeah.
well. Like, let's come up with something that's not attached. We all love Coco and we all love Merida and everyone else, but let's come up. It can survive. It can work. We don't have to attach that all the time, because Pirates, when it came out, was attached to nothing.
True.
Haunted Mansion attached to nothing.
Right.
Little Small World. These are the greatest rides of all time. We don't always need that to reel the people in.
Mhm.
So back to Communicore, got a good look at it, and it's spacious. It blows your mind that there are no walls up right
Right.
now. You just look around, and there was a lot going on when I first arrived, but at the end of the evening, when we do our typical spend some time around Dreamers Point and all that, looking around, and I had to show by camera too for everybody watching, like, look at this. This is so accessible now. It's so wide open over there. I
Mhm.
really can't wait for you to see that in person. It's yeah, it looks like Cliff is saying a lot. Make sure we don't miss. I'm sure he's saying some good stuff because
Yeah.
he loves Epcot. I don't want to miss that. But so it's wide open. I hope that there are live shows all the time over there. I know on day one, they had the Encanto show, and that goes to like mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
And then they brought on La Calais, I think their name was, and a fantastic band. They even did some Dua Lipa while I was there. They got Alyssa and Neil up there to dance. Really great band,
We,
and
we
so
got
it's
a
very.
copyright to that.
Yeah, we did. I was wondering if we did. We did.
We
We got
did.
a copyright.
Yep.
See, she did Dua Lipa too
Dua
well.
Lipa.
If you don't want to see me.
Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know they do it really well because YouTube's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, you can't play that. That's
yeah,
copyrighted." Yeah, yeah,
exactly. You could probably that, ironically enough, though, that's probably one that you could dispute because it is a cover.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think you can dispute covers. So yeah, that's a real festive area. And one thing that I noticed, and you probably noticed, and everybody watching, I think there were even some comments in the chat. There were a lot of people participating. It's not
Mhm.
like people were just standing and watching, walking by for a moment. There had to be 20, 25 people at least in a few rows doing the dances. Like they were dancing. They had a woman down below the stage, and they were following her lead with the dances. Very
Mhm.
festive. You go off to the side, and they have an area called Festival Favorites. So now it's a small menu, but that's okay. It's festival favorites. So, and maybe they'll, as they roll, they'll open up the menu a little bit more. But there were, from what I can recall, 3 edible things, and then there was maybe 2 um, alcoholic drinks, and there was a slushy that was non-alcoholic. I got the non-alcoholic slushy,
Mhm.
the passion fruit coconut. Unbelievable. Are there other flavors that I enjoy better than that? Absolutely. But let me tell you, this is the best smoothie I ever had. The taste just popped. It was a perfect balance of coconut and passion fruit. Um, yeah, it was that good. It was really, really good. I mean, it was so good that Alyssa had 2,
There you go.
you know. And the dessert that I had, I can never say the name, the trelech.
Uh,
Um,
Tres leches.
yes, tres leches. I got to practice that. That another like 5 out of 5 Mickey's Diz Kiss, unbelievable, so good. The cream was just it was burnt a little bit at the top,
Mhm.
toasted, and it was soft, and the taste on the inside was so good. Uh, that that could be a staple. I could see. I won't because there's so many foods to try in Epcot once the festivals hit again, but I could go to that every visit to Epcot. Those 2 things.
You know what you loved it, like you said. Alyssa loved the drink so much she got 2. Um, but it's called Festival Favorites, right? There's not a festival currently going on. So when you said, well, they'll probably expand the menu, absolutely they'll expand that menu because you'll have festivals going on. I also heard a lot of people talking about the haters online, you know, we waited this long for some walls and tables and chairs. Yes, you did, but we're currently not in a festival. And what I had said is that space is supposed to be a festival space. Neil had called out how you have those movable windows there, right? What is it going to be when the festival's in place? And the first festival that it has is Food and Wine, right? Coming up in August. Are you going to see the stuff that you normally see in Odyssey now shifted over to there? And if that's the case, what are they going to do with Odyssey? Because now you have that building that you can do something with. Do they refurbish it? I mean, Odyssey, the carpet and all that needs to be refurbished, but they could certainly use the festival place or, the Communicore Hall for all that they're using the Odyssey building for now. And now they have the Odyssey building free and World Showplace over back by Canada, or in between. I guess it's in between Canada and UK.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you know, maybe I love how you think outside the box. I could totally buy into that. And we know those table and chairs are there. We're in an odd time, right? There's no festival right now.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think that if Disney was looking to debut this full bore, like this is the full capabilities of this Communicore, they would have waited till August 29th
Right.
when Food and Wine comes around. I think maybe they felt like they just needed to get this done. we need to get this done. I mean, there's outside pressure from other parks,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
things. Uh, so I don't know if you were in charge of this project, would you have waited uh, till August 29th when you could fully show what that area could be, which you and I believe, and I think Neil believes, is going to be those tables and chairs will be out of there, or yeah, because there's concept art, I think, with no tables in there, and there's a statue of
Probably.
Figment, and those windows can fly wide open. So
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be food in there that's probably counter service right there where you can get things.
Yeah.
And then they can do whatever they want in that room. So I don't think we've seen the full potential of that. So instead of rushing to the keyboard, we need to relax and give this time. This one needs to percolate.
That's
Purple
right.
Pleasure, I'm looking at you.
You have to. So the way I think, I put my retail brain on, and this was the soft opening for Communicore Hall, and you're not
Perfect.
going to see it at its full potential until come August. I could be totally wrong. I don't work for Disney. I could be wrong, but my feeling is that this is, well, let's get the building finished so that we can take the walls down, so that there's something during the summer, because we don't have a festival until August. And then they can take their time ramping up the inside of that building. That's what I think.
Yes. And if it remained that way, then we'd have to say it's a little bit of a letdown.
On that side.
Right.
Now
On
you
that
do
side
get
of it.
Mickey and
Yes.
friends. You get to
Yes.
meet
On
Mickey.
that side of it.
That's very cool that you have that. But yes, on that side,
But
Yeah.
we don't think that, though. We don't think
Yeah.
that. No.
Yeah.
I mean, and to me, I cling to those windows. Those windows slide open. You can see it.
Yep.
And so that, maybe it's no stretch, but I'm calling it now. That is going to be quick service right there. And I like the idea of the festival favorites title on the outside. That can alternate. Maybe I thought you were going here with this, but if not, whatever festival's going on, it's going to be food and wine next. So maybe they take some of those favorites and you can also get them there.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like better than that is get us something that's gone. Put something in there from Flower and Garden.
Yeah. That would be
You know,
cool.
while food and wine is happening. Give us something from Christmas that,
That would
where
be cool.
the art festival's going on. Like, give us some things we can't quite get. And furthermore, open up some of those windows on the table side right now in the Communicore Hall and continue to sell some of those great favorites. Why
Yeah.
why can't I go in there and buy a Mickey Nitro bar whenever I want? you know?
Yeah, I do
So-
like that idea of calling back old festival favorites, not the current festival. That would be really
yeah.
cool.
And they can do it however they want it. They can do surveys. They don't even need to do that. They could go by how they know what they're selling. They can go back and be like, oh man, during Festival of the Arts, we sell so many of this item.
Mm-hmm.
Easily put it in the Communicore Hall.
Yep. What's your top 2 or 3 from, Festival of the Arts? Bring those back. Continue to make money on it.
Random thought, what if we picked a piece of property in WDW and we had a Hall of Fame? Kind of like expanding one man's dream. You
Mhm.
start there and you go along. We could see the original Figment. We could maybe see the Dreamfinder's vehicle, something from Mr. Toad, like a museum. I
Right.
think that'd be pretty cool too.
That would
Put in Epcot.
That would be. Cliff was talking about how long it took to build that. The only thing, and again, I'm just blue skying basically. But because I deal in construction, the only thing that I feel is that, Epcot or Spaceship Earth is one big gutter, right? Like, it takes all the rain that hits Spaceship Earth and it funnels it underneath Epcot down the gateway. So I kind of feel like there was a lot of work underground that had to be done to reroute all of that, because you had to have certain things and you had to have the footers and all that for the buildings that you were going to be building. So I kind of think that maybe it took a lot longer because of that, and then obviously the pandemic. But I kind of feel that that could be why. Totally could be wrong, but I think they ran into a lot of issues with that type of construction.
Yeah, we can also figure that what COVID hit, Disney has struggled financially in other
Mhm.
areas, so the park has been paying to keep other things afloat.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that boiled down to finances as
yeah,
well.
yeah. But there's a lot of investment in the parks. You talked about the play pavilion that went away, and I mentioned it the other night when you were at Epcot. Um, Disney invested a lot of money in Epic Games, and if Epic Games is getting that much money from Epcot or from Disney, is it possible that we will see that turn into a play pavilion with Epic doing a lot of the work for
They,
that?
yeah, they could sponsor it too.
They could sponsor it. That's right.
Yeah, and
So
I think that's true what Cliff says too. I heard that Disney just wanted to spread the cost over multiple years. I
yeah,
I,
I
I
heard
have
that.
heard I have heard years ago that's what they do like to do. They're looking at quarters,
Mhm.
where Universal just goes for it.
Yeah, that's
You
probably
know,
probably that's probably a huge part of it.
I mean, you have investors, right? I mean, they're not stupid. You
Right.
can say, listen, guys, we're going to show a loss for the next 2 years, but I can tell you, you're going to make more than that than you would, two, three, four times over when this is
Mhm.
done.
Mhm.
So sit down, relax, enjoy the money you're making because you're making a lot already. You're going to get a lot more in the back end. You don't need to see a profit every single quarter.
That's right.
There's a reason for that. So let's just get it done.
Yeah.
So I was also thinking, too, while you were talking, if they do take those activities from the Odyssey and bring it over to Communicore, what will we do with Odyssey? Why don't we blow it up? Why don't we put an attraction there? Maybe too small, but let's do something else. Let's reimagine the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Let's do something there.
Yeah.
You
Now,
know?
but Corey, now you're asking for more walls. You just got the walls down. You're asking for more walls again.
Well, you know what? That's a very, you know what though? It's an out of the way spot.
That's true.
It's an out of the way spot. All you do is block Mexico,
Mhm.
and this won't happen now. But why don't you do it while Test Track? You have a
Yeah.
year to do something with Odyssey. Nobody's going near Test Track either.
Yeah, I
That
knew that's where
whole
you were
area.
going. Close off Test Track right there by the front, where everybody would turn at this point now to go to Communicore or whatever. And I, dude, Aaron, what are you doing in Odyssey right now? What is it currently, Odyssey?
Aaron, the Odyssey is a dump.
Come on.
Odyssey is a dump. It's no better than, I don't know, Taco Bell when you walk in with a back end to it.
Go
You
look at the
know?
carpet in Odyssey. You tell me it's not time. It's time for something. It's
Yeah. We got to touch some things. You got to improve. Our Disney World Fix believes in Walt. Walt will tell you that is never complete. And being never complete means changes have to happen. You can go
yeah.
back to episode, like, I don't know, 9 in the life of this podcast and talk about embrace change.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know if it's number 9, but it's I think that's the title of it though, embrace
Sure.
change.
It was
We
it
have
was
to embrace change sometimes.
the first version.
The Odyssey is not great. It's not. There's nothing great about it. I don't even, you know what? They could even just redo it. Make it pretty. Knock it down. Make a new Odyssey type building. That's
Mhm.
all. I have no problem with the Odyssey, but it's probably time to do something with that too. But I'm sticking with Cliff with the Wonders of Life Pavilion. It's huge. Let's get a ride in there or an attraction that is not IP based.
I don't um I don't remember it as well, but Cliff, I'm sure will. How many attractions were in the Wonders of Life? Because it was a pavilion similar to um, the land, right? You had multiple attractions in it. That space is big, and you could certainly fit two, three, four good attractions in there, I think. So
Whoa.
I would love to see something happen in there.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That would be cool. That would be cool. They could do anything, but I don't think it should sit. I guess my point with the Odyssey is it just shouldn't sit there as is. Let's make it look pretty.
Yeah, Cliff says like 4. I think he's onto it. Yeah. Balaban asks,
Oh,
what is the Odyssey? So the Odyssey was a restaurant. Um, then it became a quick serve, and they use it right now for festival merch. And at one point, it had the Epcot experience, which I tried to bring a video in of the Epcot experience so we could kind of see that, but I didn't have a chance to. But it hosted the Epcot experience, and that's where I like really fell in love with what the changes were coming to Epcot because it showed, a lot of it.
mm-hmm. Redo Body Wars, says Sharon. That's a ride I'd never been able to do. But Body Wars, Cranium Command, The Making of Me, and several smaller ones, and
Mhm.
lots of food. Yeah, they got to make use of that building. I don't know what the status of the building is. I don't know if repairs are needed or anything roof wise and all that. But
At one point, we had seen work starting on it, and then it just went away, and they told us that the Play Pavilion was not going to happen. So I don't know, but it needs to something needs to go there. That and Odyssey, and we were talking about this in chat when you were at Epcot the other night, the World Showplace. So that was really a festival. I had never been in there, but it was really a festival place. And you had said that they had merch in there and that kind of thing.
yeah, you can get merch. I can remember during Festival of the Arts, there was art to be purchased and viewed there. They had high top tables along with some food.
Hmm.
Nice spot to go if it was hot. Go in there, cool off for a little bit, relax. That's the first place we tried Ratatouille ever for the first time. I remember that, and some really
They
good
had the
foods.
ride inside that building.
Yes, and then they moved it.
Oh,
No, the food, the actual food. You have to explain that. Make some people think.
yeah.
But yeah, that
So
place is big too. Like that could be an attraction.
it could, or could it be another pavilion in the World Showcase?
Oh, absolutely. That's the first suggestion I've ever heard. Absolutely, I would sign on that. I would sign up for that 100%. It's literally between two countries. How easy would it be to just do another country right there?
And you don't need it technically anymore because you have Communicore Hall. If that's going to be your focus for festivals, then you don't need World Showplace anymore.
I think they like to use that for corporate things too and weddings, right? But find some other place to do it.
They listen. How many weddings have you passed over in Italy? Right up there on the
Yeah.
water. But
Yes.
they're also pushing the World Celebration Gardens as a new wedding place. So believe me, I've started to look. So
Ooh, I smell a live stream.
you have a you have wouldn't that be funny? Oh, we're in Epcot. Oh, there's a wedding over there.
Oh, there's and after Lawrence's wedding, we're gonna go do the World Showcase walkthrough
Yeah.
in a tux.
I'll finally get my button. No.
Yes. Who wants a button? Who needs a button?
So, I think there's potential there to do a lot of things. Aaron, let's see. Aaron does not agree with me. He says he believes in keeping World Showplace, but putting it to use. Hey, I'm good with that. There are other slots for countries, that's for sure. There was supposed to be plenty of additional countries. Catherine says, "Excuse me, I didn't say anything. I don't know. Don't hit rewind; it won't work." What's Cliff saying?
Yeah, Cliff's right with all the financial stuff. Yes, Disney is really committing to Hulu, and
Yeah.
that if it already hasn't been put there, it will be a staple as one of what do you call those things? The clickable thumbnail. Like you'll be able to like you can access like National Geographics through Disney Plus. You're going to be
Mhm.
able to access Hulu through there as well.
Yep. So there's a lot that could be done with Epcot, but I figured we would go back in time really quickly. Let's look at the original map.
Ooh, this will be interesting. Let's look at this.
So in chat, you guys can see it on screen. What's missing? Give me one thing that's missing from that.
We looking at the bottom or the top?
We could start at the top.
Can I say?
Yeah.
Norway.
Norway. Yep.
Norway is missing. And then I think as far as countries go, we're good.
Nope.
What are you talking about? I walk this thing all the time. No, you might. I don't even. Do we really count the outpost? Are you trying to count the outpost?
I'll tell you what. I won't count the outpost. You're still missing one.
I'm missing something.
Mhm.
Oh, Morocco. My fault.
Yep. Yeah. So I remember this. I might be able to grab my book in a minute. And then at the bottom, you have Horizons opening in the fall of '83. You have Test Track above it, which was known as World of Motion. So it's kind of cool because Sunday or Saturday is the last day for Test Track, and we've been teased with the idea that it will harken back to World of Motion. So my thought, I'll put it on record, right? My thought is that maybe what we're going to see is the inside ride. We know that it used to be crash test dummy kite type interior. Now it's kind of the testing for different things. I think it's going to be taking us through speed, horse-drawn buggy, moving to, cars, electric cars or steam cars. And then the final thing is going to be today's cars and how fast we can go. And that's when they open the doors and you go outside.
How cool of a concept is that?
That's what I'm thinking. Could be wrong.
And again, that is old Epcot right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is old Disney. And that would again be another big step in pulling Epcot back to what it used to be.
Yeah.
Which would make Aaron happy.
Exactly. So yeah, you have the land. If you go to the right, you come into the right, the land is the first thing that you hit. So there's no Finding Nemo. And before it was Finding Nemo, it was the Living Seas, and that's not there either. The Kennel Club, is that still there? What is that building? I don't know.
Kennel Club.
Yeah, it's up here above where the word world is. The Kennel Club. I guess if you brought your pet, that's where they went. Anybody remember?
Oh.
Did anybody do that?
Does anybody know in chat what the Kennel Club was?
I don't know.
That'll be a challenge for Aaron, and no Googling on that
no
one.
Googling. And then you had Communicore East and West there, and the fountain in the middle.
Maybe that is the Kennel Club. Like you can leave your dog. Yes, my dog stayed there, said Cliff.
Of course.
There you go.
You would be Cliff. Yeah.
There you go.
So that was Epcot in '82. And I love my video clips. So let's see this was '83. Let's see this one.
Step into the future in Epcot Center's newest adventure. Step into the future in Horizons. Step into the future today.
That was 4K graphics right there, buddy.
Most impressive.
Those graphics. Oof. Can you imagine? Can you imagine live
Wow.
streaming and that's the resolution you were getting?
You know what? It would be like any other technology. At that time, people would be like,
That's
wow,
right.
wow, you're streaming in 360. That's crazy. 320, whatever that resolution is way down there.
Yeah.
It would be the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Years from now, we'll laugh at 4K.
Right. Right.
It's just how technology goes. It's crazy.
Cliff is
But
already laughing at 4K. He's doing 8K stuff already.
that's true.
Yeah, that was a commercial for Horizons getting ready to open, and I just thought it was so funny looking at the graphics. It took me about 20 seconds to download that clip because the resolution was so low that it just
Wow.
soup done.
Cliff needs to come up with a way as how he can partner with Living in Diz and how to be more groundbreaking in the parks live streaming. I wonder if there's anything Cliff would have up his sleeve. Like, this would be something.
Okay. All right.
Can we get deep space sound going, on a live stream? Something.
Oh my
You
goodness.
never know.
So Aaron's throwing out a pop quiz. What was the song sung during the opening ceremony for Epcot? And he knows that Cliff knows it.
Oh, say, can you see?
I almost brought it up. I was going to bring in that clip too, but I have no idea. No idea. So let's see. What else do I have for you? So then we can go a little bit further. And who remembers that Epcot logo?
I remember this style map for sure. I wonder when that logo went away. I don't think that is that old. I'm going to guess. And I'm going to say that was probably put to bed about 7 years ago. Like 7 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I bet. We've just begun is the answer to the first song sung at Epcot.
Yeah. So here you can see obviously all the countries. This map actually shows the International Gateway. I don't think the other one did, which makes me think that probably wasn't open when the park first opened. I don't know. Somebody can correct.
Well, I'm gonna say that you probably didn't have to. You probably didn't.
There wasn't a need for it.
There was no need for it.
Yeah. So here in this map, you can see interventions. You have Universe of Energy still open. You have Wonders of Life still functioning. You have Mission Space now open. You have World of Motion changed to Test Track. They don't call out the Odyssey in there. It's there. I can see it, but they don't call it out. You have Imagination instead of Journey into Imagination. And then you have the Living Sea. So this was before it was Finding Nemo. And Soarin' must have been new because they actually call it out on the map.
It's the only one that has its own logo too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And don't forget, way in the beginning, you have Leave a Legacy, all the stones that are now gone. And I'm sure there was a public outcry for that too, when they said that they were getting rid of all of those stones.
Yeah.
And it looks like Norway has come along, as well as Morocco at this point, and the World Showcase is now complete as we know it.
Yes.
For now.
Yep.
And you notice you have boats traveling back and forth. We just don't have that anymore.
Yeah. All over the lagoon.
Which would be great because, if you want to get somewhere, we really feel it anytime we're in the park. It's like, if you want to navigate and do what you want to do, I feel like almost every time I'm at Epcot, at least once on a visit, it's like, okay, what side should we walk? Which way should we go? What's quicker?
Yeah.
Where you could just drop on a boat and go central,
Right.
That's huge. Can they just not do it now because of the paraphernalia that's in the water? You know, since Harmonious and now Luminous, can they make their way around it? So it would be nice to bring those boats back, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Club Cool is in there.
Yeah, I saw Club Cool there. Yeah. And this one, while we kind of skipped over this because we went to this map, but this was another one that I found.
This is Epcot Center. Epcot Center. There's nowhere else like it in the world.
For a free color magazine, call 1-800-55-EPCOT.
Somebody call that number. I want to see if it works.
For a free color magazine.
Yeah. Which always takes me back to the DVDs that you used to be able to get. First they were VHS and then they were DVDs of your planning, family planning, trip planning DVD or whatever they called it. And I used to get it just to see what was happening in Disney, just to keep up with it. So, yeah, there's been a lot of change at Epcot. And, you know, Walt said it will always change. It'll never be finished, never be complete. And that's the right thing for that park, because how can you, if it's going to be based on the...
I'm calling the Epcot number.
Please press 1 now. If not, press 2.
It sounds like a promotional number at the moment. So
I know everybody in chat remembers the Disney number.
Oh, I know. 1407 W Disney.
W Disney. That's it.
See, I remember that.
So, yeah, you know, Walt said it'll never be complete. And if you go back to the original thought of Epcot before it, you know, when he passed away, they obviously went a different direction with it, because his idea would never have worked. This utopia city, which it wouldn't have worked. They got close to it with Celebration and the other ones, and the one that they'll be building over here near me. That'll be as close as they get to it. But the original idea was you would live there, you wouldn't own it, you wouldn't have voting rights. And when new technology came out, microwave, stove, or whatever, they would go into your house and change it. And there would be visitors that could see what the future was, what technology was, the possibilities were. I don't know that I would want that. And I don't know how many people would want that. And that's why the Imagineer said that that's not going to happen. But we'll still try to use a lot of the ideas that he had for the original Epcot in Epcot and in Disney World. So you did see a lot of that come to life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Spaceship Earth was not CGI.
No, I mean, that's worth talking about for a moment. I mean, how did I think that they had to helicopter him in.
Or is it just me?
Did you lose me? Hello, hello, hello.
Let's see. You guys in chat, let me know if you can hear me. Or I guess I could also turn my audio on.
All right, you got me?
Or I guess I could. Okay. They can hear. Oh, I couldn't hear Corey.
They can hear us.
They can hear both of us.
Oh, did you all hear me?
I can.
Let's see.
Okay.
Lawrence.
They can hear. Oh, I couldn't hear Corey.
They can hear us.
They can hear both of us.
Oh, okay. Did you all hear me? Should I call you out?
Okay.
Lawrence.
They can hear. Oh. All right, hold on. Sorry. It's what happens when you do a live show. All right. I know I'm back. Corey is frozen. We'll let Corey unfreeze himself. This is what happens when you do a show live. There's no editing.
All right, I'm back.
You're back. Welcome.
I said it like a question. All right, I'm back. That was weird. Like the whole thing glitched out and I was gone. So
that was odd.
There we go. He says the mic was changed to a laptop mic. Yeah, sometimes, Cliff, lately I'm getting a little staticky here with it, so I might have to just get another wire. I'm going to have to replace that wire. Maybe. Can't be my Focusrite. I mean, it could be, but...
No, I don't think so. It's more likely your cable. Yes, Aaron, he's on the wrong side. Aaron's playing the role of Shannon tonight. Boom, there you go.
I'm going to pop out and check my mic.
Okay. So let me bring this final one up. And so this is the future world as we know it, now called World Nature, World Celebration, and World Discovery. You see on the map, it says Future Home of Play. I use this one because I really believe that they're going to do something with that space. So my fingers are crossed that we
I'm back.
Seeing something there. Oh, you're back and sound better than ever.
How does Cliff know these things? I don't even know.
He's just that good.
We need Cliff here at all times.
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking at the latest. Was that the latest?
No, actually not current because it says Future Home of Play. But I told him I use this one because I have, you can see Journey of Water up there in the corner, I guess. But I have a strong hold and a holding out for hope that they do something with that pavilion.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah. So we'll see. But Epcot.
Oh, there's a trap door. Is this true, Susie Q? She said that there's a trap door at the top of Spaceship Earth, and that's how Mickey got to stand up there. And I'm sure they secured his feet, with something as well.
Yeah. It's not like at Fantasmic. At Fantasmic, he's just standing up there free floating. No,
he's actually strapped in as well, and it's very scary. There's a lot of power that shoots Mickey up that way. I know that from a source.
And the one below there when he disappears. Yes. That's very scary.
Yes, it's scary for cast members. I know this from a source.
So, Corey, can you hop into the vertical?
Yes.
So I hold out a lot of hope for Epcot. It is my favorite park. I know it's Aaron's fourth favorite park, right, Aaron? Yeah.
So, Aaron's list of parks goes it goes Six Flags New Jersey, SeaWorld San Diego, and Islands of Adventure, and his number one is Sesame Place Park.
Oh, there you go. Sesame Place.
Pennsylvania.
Which one? The Pennsylvania one. Yeah.
Yes. We took the kids there twice. That was the minor leagues for us. We tried them there, and we were like, these kids are park ready. So we took them to Disney World the next year. I went. It's a good start.
And I was probably like 7, 8, something like that when I went to Sesame Place the first time. Balaban says, Corey and Lawrence, what's your favorite ride at Epcot and all Disney theme parks? Well, for Epcot, we have the same answer. It is Guardians, without question.
Yes, I concur. I don't know why on the vertical, but I'm it's just black. It's a black screen over there.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So
interesting.
I don't know what's happening on that side. Like you said, it's live. We do it live, so Can't
That's right.
always be perfect.
No.
What's that?
Um.
Maybe I'll go out of that and come back in. But I'm
Okay.
with
Get
you
out of
on
that
this
one.
one.
Yep.
I'm here. I'm here for
You're
this one.
here on this one. I'll move him again. He switched sides on you. There you go. Cliff wants to know: will you both be doing extensive Epic Universe coverage? Cliff, what is Epic Universe? What? I don't know what that is. Enlighten me. Yeah, we will be covering that quite a bit. I have been excited for Super Mario World ever since the one in Japan opened. Um, my worry though is that it is going to be so packed the first maybe 2 years that it's going to be tough to get into. I'm betting that they're going to go to a reservation system. I mean, uh, the Peppa Pig park used reservations when they opened, and they were sold out. So I know Epic Universe would have to go with that. So I'm hoping to see it. I don't know. What about you? You think you'll see it right away? Or are you hoping for opening day?
Cliff has forced my hand to an announcement.
Oh.
We will be there in all our power and might, unless, a reservation system keeps us out or something. Living in Diz will be there on opening day. Absolutely 100%. And we will cover as much as Universal will allow us to. I mean, we've already talked about it. Jacob's adamant about it. It was just a few days ago. He's like, opening day, Dad. And I kind of said with Tammy in the background, because Tammy didn't let him do Galaxy's Edge. And I wanted him to, and she didn't want him to miss school. And, it bums him out to this day. So I looked at her and I was like, oh, yeah, Jacob, you are doing Epic Universe on day one, opening day. The only way that he wouldn't be able to do that is if there was a critical end of year test that he absolutely couldn't make. But if other than that, he will be with me, and I'm sure. And if he's with me, that means Tammy will be with me. So we're going to cover as much as we can. I mean, I've already analyzed what the park looks like. When we all know how restrictive our Disney World fix is, how restrictive that Universal is. So I'm not going to count on being able to stream any of the rides. If there are some that we're able to, I'm going to give Aaron some homework. Why don't you look into that and see if he can get early word on, is there anything we'll be able to stream? So whatever we can stream, we will stream. But if we're assuming that we can't stream anything ride-wise, the whole central area you'll be able to stream. There's a lot of walk-around area that we'll be able to share and spend with people.
Agree.
That whole area, any of the new lands you can go through, you'll be able to stream that. And I really feel like when you go into Super Mario World, that there's a lot to see without going on the rides. I mean, you can see characters and flowers and turtles and things moving around. There's going to be a special magic band, power-up band that you can get.
That's right.
And you can go around and you can collect coins. Those are things to me that we could do while we're live. So I think it's going to have some pretty good eye candy, and it would be great if we could stream a little bit of the rides. But we'll be there.
Good. I'm looking
Extensive
forward
coverage.
to it. Just walking around Super Mario Land will be phenomenal. Is it Super Mario Land or Super Mario World? Do you know which one they call it? I would assume
it's World.
World. Yeah,
It's World.
Yeah. So
Sharon also said maybe consider recording it and then showing it later. Yeah, we'll have. That's a good point too. We'll have to discuss how we want to do it, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our Disney World Fix says, I guarantee that will be an attraction to attraction basis, of which I will not be trained on unless I am part of that attraction. Yeah. Super Nintendo World. So they did debut some of that stuff. So, Aaron, on Saturdays, we are live from Universal Studios. There's a brand new show, Cinesational, and we're going to show that. Again, brand new show. We don't know what the signal will be like, but we're going to try like heck to bring that all to you. It's 60 drones in the sky. It's Jurassic Park. It's Jaws. It's everything Universal. So we're going to do our best to try to bring that to you all on Saturdays, this Saturdays, along with everything that Universal allows us to do. So that is Saturday. And
I
hopefully
will I will be sitting here at the controls just in case there's a
right.
major issue.
YouTube likes to block me lately, so
Yeah.
maybe they'll block us too. Maybe. Well, I guess this is things to decide later, but maybe if we can get on a little bit sooner, we put like a 3-hour stream behind us, we can just go to a part 2, and if anything happens copyright-wise with the show, at least we have the rest of the show behind it, the stream behind it, like last night.
Yeah. Well, we also have a little tip from Pam that we're going to try. So
Yes.
we'll see.
Yes.
That could help.
That too. Well, have we covered everything yet?
Yeah, I like I said, I'm excited about Epcot. Can't wait to go see the Communicore Hall. That fest. I was excited just seeing the lights when you finally realized that those lights were not coming from magic or from anything. They were coming right from inside. It was like, oh, there's something happening there. So,
and I'm calling those dancing lights because those lights were dancing. They weren't just normal lights, just kind of waving methodically back and forth. Like they were doing something.
Yeah.
So really fun to watch. That's really cool to watch. And the lighting did change and I was looking for the lighting to be active in matching Spaceship Earth. I don't think I saw that yet. I don't think it was matching with like any of the shows on Spaceship Earth. I could be wrong.
And I don't think I heard any show while you were there, so that could be it. Just maybe there was so much going on that night they didn't run the show. Possibly. It's
Cliff's special day because he just became the latest LID Club member. Blast the chat for Steve Bullock and Tony as Cliff just landed himself an LID Club membership. Name highlighted in green, all those special emojis, and his name in the credits at the end of future live streams.
There you go. And
here.
Here's a nice comment from S. Becker. Says they hopped over from Pam's stream. So glad I found you, subbed, and looking forward to watching you guys going forward. Thank you very much. We definitely appreciate that. We support Pam. Pam supports us. It's a great community. She does a phenomenal job out there. I was watching all along on Sunday morning when she was out there for over 6 hours in 100-degree heat. And she would have kept going if her phone didn't say, I've had enough. Her phone tapped out before she did. So she does a great job. And so we're happy to support her and her community as well.
Let's also blast the chat for Andy, who dropped a gift, and that went to M and J in the OC. Congratulations. And we thank you, Andy, for all of your support, my friend. Anybody that discovered us tonight, thank you so much, especially coming over from Pam's side. We're live from the parks 2 to 3 times a week, and we have a lot of fun doing it in the parks. And, of course, we have this podcast on Wednesday nights. So next week, I guess we don't really need to do an Inside the Parks this week, right? We pretty much covered it.
You'll be live tomorrow at...
Yeah, we should mention that for anybody that's watching live. We are live from Magic Kingdom tomorrow. To this moment, I do not know the time because I need to secure a group number for Tiana. So just watch for notifications, and they could change. So, for example, if it comes up, I don't know where it sits now, but maybe I'll set it for noon after this, and then watch it. Look for it to maybe change. It could jump to 9 a.m., 10 a.m. It could jump to 3 p.m. Probably not that late. We don't want to get too risky because we don't know how quickly they'll go through these groups. So, but watch for notifications. We will be live. We'll be attempting to do Tiana's Bayou Adventure and spend a little time with you over at Magic Kingdom. I don't think it will be a Saturday type stream where I think it depends when we start. I
Okay.
think that could be a 4 hour stream, could be a 5 hour. I don't know. Could be a 3. I doubt a 3, but since we're there,
Yeah.
so it'll probably be what do we deliver on a Thursday night, like 3.5, 4 hours. So
Mhm.
I would say at least what you're used to. I just don't know if we'll close out the park. So yeah, have fun with us there. We'll be doing that, and then we are live one more time before vacation, and that will be Saturdays live from Universal for the new Cinesational Spectacular, and
Love it. Looking
gonna be fun.
forward to seeing that. We did
Oh,
get
I know what I
a
wanted to ask Aaron if he's still there. Oh, blast the chat for Aaron, who dropped a $1.99 super chat, and he says Odyssey Fever. Thank you, Aaron. And if the Epic Universe store is open to the public at that point on Saturdays, we'll go in and we'll show that.
Very nice.
Yeah. See some of the merch.
Right.
Maybe I'll buy a Super Mario World shirt. Who knows? Jacob said he's holding out for day one merch, though. Of Epic Universe.
Okay. So if they have it there, I see what you're saying. Yeah. If they have it there, he won't get it. He'll wait for the day one merch.
No, they don't. Well, they don't have day one merch yet. He's hoping that they're going to have day one opening day merch.
Oh.
Right now, they just have some stuff with the different lands' names on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just says Super Mario World. It may say Epic Universe, but there's like no date.
Oh, okay.
And Universal is hinting that this baby may open in the spring, like sooner than expected.
I had heard it was pushed back, so if it opens in the spring, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll share some good news really quickly before we head out. And some of you saw it, and a couple of you said congratulations. But on Saturday morning, here's what I was celebrating. Our little Finley graduating pre-K.
Congratulations, Finley. That's an accomplishment.
Yes. So she loved it. She had a lot of fun. She read a speech during the graduation, so that was phenomenal. She did a really good. We're really proud of her. So, and I say that she reads, but the school taught her how to read. Mommy taught her how to read. I helped her a little bit, but the chat helped her too, because when she's watching Living in Diz out there, she's reading all the chat. So you all helped as well.
Yeah, it gave her the want to read, right?
Yeah. She wanted to know what people were saying. So, I
heard her yell, "Thank you."
Yeah. She's reading Benjamin. She just read Benjamin Burton's comment. So I can hear her screaming it. So yeah, thank you all. I mean, it is a community for sure, just like we started off the show with. So I'll give you a quote, pretty appropriate for today. And I got the next few quotes that I'm getting from. Thank you. You're welcome, Finley.
Welcome.
The next few quotes are coming from the walls that are no longer around Communicore Hall. They had all these little quotes up. So I'll give you this one. It says, "So that's what EPCOT is, an experimental prototype community that will always be in a state of becoming."
Will always be a state of becoming. I love when you would hear Walt say that during Epcot Forever.
Yes.
And the last thing I'll read out loud from chat is Sharon said, "This was such an enjoyable DIZPod. Thank you, guys. You're so very welcome. We see all of you in chat. We get to read even more chat than when we're live in the parks. So we definitely see everything you all are writing. Lawrence, we are proud of her. I thought you were going to say you set a date for the marriage." What, Lawrence isn't married yet? What?
Oh boy. Well, it's my time.
Well, there's always a chance that it could be, seen on Living in Diz. So stay tuned for that, or we'll show it on Park Bros. We'll send everybody over to Park Bros.
There you go.
And I'll hold the gimbal. So there you go. So that's it. We talked about our plans.
Yep.
And sum it up for anybody coming in later. We are going to debut next week. What do you call it? Some restreams. We're going to restream some older streams for you all to enjoy, because we will not be live on Monday or Wednesday or Thursday next week due to our cruise. But I can guarantee you that we will be gathering a lot of great content for the channel. So when we return the week after, you will start to see a series of vlogs from the Royal Caribbean. And still the question I don't know the answer to is, will you see in a vlog Tammy ziplining, the girl who is afraid of heights? Will she do ziplining? We need to find out.
That's the question.
So
we'll find out.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole vlog right there. Maybe.
You might even get a home stream from Lawrence. If I get bored, we might just do a little home stream.
Yeah, if you want to do that, that would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always do a DIZPod without me.
I won't call it an official. I won't call it an official. No. Not at all.
But who knows? Maybe you can bring a guest on or something. Who knows? Yeah.
We'll see. Well, glad you all enjoyed tonight. Thanks for chiming in like you always do. And if you're watching the replay, make sure to comment. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the content tonight. Again, no true DIZPod next week. We will be off because Corey will be off somewhere in the big blue ocean, enjoying some great family time. So looking forward to seeing all that content after he comes back. And then the following week, we need to talk about that real quickly. The following week is all about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. All right, because we're doing it tomorrow. We won't talk about it next week. So the following week is going to be Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and we're going to have a guest. And that guest is part of the family who owns the restaurant that was the inspiration for the movie.
Oh, the DIZPod just gets better and better.
So looking forward to that. We will certainly be sure to tease that for you next week. So very excited about what's coming up on the DIZPod as we keep growing and growing.
Thank you so much, Max Webster. And you'll all see it in the vlogs, but I'll be happy to talk a little bit about the cruise and the parks, or right here as well when we return. We can talk a little bit about that. And just have a lot of fun. You all mean the world to us. I don't use those words lightly. We love you all. We truly do. Couldn't have Living in Diz without all of you. And Lawrence is showing those hearts for sure. So for now, until tomorrow, everybody, again, watch for start times. It will change. We will see you all in the parks tomorrow for Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Woo!
So for now, we're just a couple of bros talking Disney. I'm Corey.
I'm Lawrence.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
And we're out.
People living of any